A perfect day to start tearing into the cheapest scooter from eBay. Quick reminder for those who forgot, this scooter came to us for 20 bucks. Its condition was pretty much dead. Saying it was sad is an understatement. The magneto was welded on, the threads on the crankshaft were stripped, one of the exhaust mounting ears was broken off, and the exhaust pipe itself was in a sorry state. But despite all that, after the rebuild, it actually ran. And it ran pretty decently, hitting 60 kilometers per hour. What's crazy is that only one piston ring was replaced. The rest of the piston kit was left as is. Then we decided to do an experiment. How long would it run on regular oil instead of proper two-stroke oil? And it kept going. Then the splines gave out. We ran another test using needles jammed into the splines. Still, we welded the cheek back on, and in that condition, no exhaust, no filter, it managed 20 kilometers before it died. Why it stopped starting? I can tell you now. This was our magneto. Yeah, welded on like that. I couldn't clean it properly, and maybe because it wasn't tightened well, it wobbled like a figure 8. Because of that, the woodruff key turned to dust. It got completely sheared off. If you're curious, check out the earlier videos. I've left the links in the video. So, what happened to the engine after running it on regular oil? Let's take it apart and find out. Cut off our welded-on cheek. Shame. It was a nice one. But hey, all for the content. The crankshaft? Toast. But it was already toast, so no big loss. I'll show you the key slot later. That's also a sight to see. Now the most interesting part, yes, what happened to the cylinder after going full throttle for 20 kilometers on regular oil? Starting with the spark plug. Let's check its condition. The plug is black, but nothing serious. Let's go further. Look at this. Well, of course, it's all black, as expected. Removing the studs, off with the head. Driving on oil. Wait, what? No gasket? I put it together with no gasket, no sealant. Classic me. And it still ran. What can I say? Now to the piston. I don't see anything critically wrong. Yeah, it's black. So you can do a short ride on oil, but what happens next? The rings didn't seize, they moved just fine. We didn't replace the reed valve before, and I think we won't this time either. We'll just clean it up thoroughly, same with the whole engine. Now we're disassembling and washing everything. Let's see how our crankshaft looks after this oil experiment. Inside, we pulled the wrist pin. It's black, obviously, no surprise there. But check this out. I installed an oversized ring. It didn't fit properly. And the gap, just massive. Still, it ran. I'm telling you. Before we started those dumb experiments, we were cruising at 60 easily, on one new ring. The second one was old and left untouched. The needle bearing? Yeah, it's got gunk all over it, but the bearing itself? Great shape. Just clean it well, oil it, and it's good to go. Enough talk. Let's tear it down further. We split the engine. Luckily, the bearing came out easily. No hassle there. The bearings spin. Not too bad overall. The worst part? That key slot I mentioned. Or rather, what used to be a key slot. It's gone. Completely destroyed. That's why we couldn't start it. The magneto shifted, and that was it. It sputtered a bit, but no ignition. But what really caused issues was running without an exhaust and air filter. That sucked in so much dirt. You can see it. Both crankcase halves are full of junk. that gunk came through the reed valve. So yeah, running without a filter and exhaust is a terrible idea. As you can see, the oil alone didn't cause catastrophic damage. If everything else was okay, we could have just cleaned the piston and kept riding. But the crankshaft is knocking. It's done. Bearings are noisy. Done. I ordered new parts. First, we're going to clean the crankcases and then install the new stuff. So don't go anywhere. I'm getting to work. All right, our crankcases are clean, shiny, ready for the new bearings. We're using TMMR bearings. As always, the link's in the video description. We'll be installing them partly hot, partly cold. I won't go into detail here, yet if you missed it, there's a link to a tutorial. Now, let's start assembling everything. Bearings are in, time for the crankshaft. I used this brand last season. No complaints so far. No one came back. So we're using it again. The crankshaft comes with seals and a needle bearing and this little crank. Nothing rattles on the new one. I don't want to force it by pulling on threads, so we'll heat it and see how it goes. Enough chatter. Let's get that sucker in. New crankshaft installed. Everything's perfect. Seals in. I used a regular spark plug wrench to press them in. Works great. Just make sure to install the oil pump first. If you put in the seal first on that side without the pump, you might push it in too far. There's no stopper ring. You'll push it in, and when you go to install the pump, it could damage the seal. Now we're putting in the heart. Link in the description, as always. Enough talking. Let's mount it on the bellows. One more tip during installation. If you've installed everything, check how the oil flows. It should run evenly across the entire surface. Lifting it, lowering it, the oil should flow like wine, evenly. In the lowest position, all ports should open fully. That's perfect. This isn't a race engine. Nobody builds high-performance motors on a thin shaft, so as long as it runs, it's good. Our Honda engine is in the trunk, because the new crankshaft arrived. We couldn't find a decent used exhaust, and I really don't want to go with a cheap Chinese one. So, we're heading over to a subscriber's place to get it welded. Here's how we welded it up. We'll paint it, and it'll look brand new. I'm off to install it back in. All the technical stuff is done. Exhaust restored, carb cleaned. We can now bolt everything to the engine, put it back in the scooter, and see how it goes. We reassembled the engine with a new crankshaft, new bearings, new piston kit. Made a nice new flange for the exhaust. New magneto, new fan. Well, used, but in good shape. The belt? Found it by a fence. Put it here. Feels right at home. Let's see how long it lasts. The big question now, will this whole pile of junk actually start and run? Let's throw it back on the frame. started, and that's huge. Now let's tune the carb, adjust everything, and finish putting it together.
Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
Just like always, started with sunshine, ended with rain. But this beauty turned out great. Looks amazing for a 30-year-old. Runs well, but I can't show it off in the rain. I added new grips, got mirrors too. You'll see them either in the shorts or somewhere else. Can't ride now. It's raining. I'll leave the full cost breakdown in the description. Too cold to go through it all now. So if you like the content, hit that subscribe button, drop a like. And see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.